sometimes they can feel it for a prophet, sometimes they can feel it, they can have inner intuition, and they will be able to tell you. I don't know how they are able to do that, but they can feel the thing and tell you. And we also know translated and transported, how God can take a prophet's spirit and show them something, and then when they come back, they will be able to tell you like what they saw. So those are the method that God uses to speak to. So how do I cultivate the prophetic? How do I, I cultivate it? Worship. You can see that like every prophet that I've seen, true prophets that I've seen, worship is like a big thing. It's like every time there's worship and there's a presence of God, it activates their gift. Then their eyes are open. That's when they are. So worship is the big thing. Waiting on God, waiting on God, reading the Word of God, reading the Word of God, because in order for you to hear the Word of God, or for you to be able to hear exactly what God is saying, you have to know His Word, because we know that everything that God tells you, you have to Bible, you have to test it with the Word of God. So you have to have the Word of God in you. I'm not saying that true prophets sometimes like a false spirit can speak through them, but I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that even for you, if you're a beginner and you're waiting on the Lord or something like that, sometimes the devil can turn themselves as an angel of light. So you have to have the word. So whatever that they're telling you, you'll be able to judge it whether it's from God or it's another source. So that's why you have to be deep in the word of God. Amen. And also meditation, meditating on the word of God, pursuing intimacy with God, and also obedient to the prompting of the Holy Spirit. You being obedient. And that's the thing that makes the prophetic very difficult, because sometimes God may tell you something, and the thing, because for example, we all know that Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh, not because he didn't want to get the people saved, but if you read or know the people of Nineveh, they were very wicked, very wicked. Like if you do research on them, like all those that they kill, they don't just kill you just like that. They will peel off your skin. You will go through torture. So Jonah didn't want to go over there and tell them that, hey, you people are sinning and God is going to wipe, because he knew that they were going to kill him. So you being obedient to the word of God, and also having faith, because it's not easy to call somebody and say, oh, that says the Lord. You have to have faith in your God and believe in so much and not doubt, knowing that like what he's telling you is from him. Amen. So how do I activate the prophetic? Pray in tongues. So in case that you hear and you desire the gift, you desire this one. I don't know how to say it, because we know that prophets are called. But if you want a gift of prophecy or operating that area, you have to pray in tongues, because we know that praying in tongues, you are building up your spiritual muscle. So, and we know that these gifts operate, or it comes through the empowerment of the Holy Spirit. And every time you pray in tongues, you are empowered with the Holy Spirit. So praying in tongues, faith, just as I said before, if God tells you something to do, tell somebody, you have to have faith. Because if you doubt it, um, that will make you to be disobedient to go and pass the message. So you have to have
Please,
faith.
with the word activation, it's in relation with you have it. How do you let it become operational? And so you are getting, the Bible says, stir up the gift that is in you. So, but if you don't have something you cannot even activate it because it's non-existent. So it's for somebody who has the gift residing in them or the calling residing in them, but it's lying dormant. So by activation, now this is what is going to open you up, and then your spirit man will begin to work. Yeah.
Yeah, so it means that in case that you heard or in case that you know that you have the gift, then you can nurture it, you can grow it more so that become more active by you praying in tongues, you having faith, and also having expectation, and also being focused.
So does another prophet have to activate the gift of prophecy on the inside of an individual?
Yeah, like I've seen, like
Did you
I've
read the
seen
scripture say laying hands of?
laying hands.
Paul said, by stir up the gift which you receive by the laying of
Hands,
hands.
yes. So
So impartation.
So another prophet has to,
Yeah, somebody can stir it up.
stir it up.
Esther, you didn't talk about the atmospheric prophecy,
The atmospheric
which we used to
prophecy.
the spirit of
Yeah,
prophecy. We wanted to that sometimes when you come around a prophetic environment, your prophetic gift is stirred up. So if you feel you're a prophet, if you hang around other prophets, they activate and you begin to operate. Where you go is where your gift. And if you also have the prophetic and you are constantly in the Catholic Church, I'm sorry, whereby it's Holy Mary, that was holy, it will never be activated because yeah, because
like
it
Saul.
you are not in a conducive, suitable environment. So you have to be in a place whereby the gift and somebody who doesn't even have the gift can get the gift by being in that atmosphere.
So
Can you talk about it? How Saul, yeah.
yeah, because like what happened was that in the Bible, right, Saul, like actually was Samuel and some prophets, they were in one place. And what happened was that Saul wanted to get that time he was going after David. So what happened was that he sent some men to go. So when they went over there, the spirit slayed them and they started prophesying. So then Saul also went. And when Saul went too, he started prophesying, even though Saul wasn't a prophet. But because he went into that atmosphere, he started prophesying. And Brian can add to it because he did a study on it too.
Any questions? How deep did you want us to go with your
Oh yeah,
question?
for the function, right? You said the
What do
function.
you want to know?
I like, gave, pretty much biblical examples,
Give her the phone.
but like a modern day, like function of a prophet.
That's my question. Let me ask that question. I have one question for her. And my question, and it's for everybody to help me. You did a thorough studies on this prophets, and you learned from the New Testament and the Old Testament. How is it different from our modern day prophets and how they are functioning? Is what you read, is it the same thing as we are seeing today?
Yeah,
What's the difference?
I've seen that for modern days, like because like I'm gonna distinguish it between two, because I see genuine prophets who are saying that says the Lord, who are going through a lot of persecution, and I also see some prophets who are actually says what the people want to hear, and them I see that I see that they will not tell you of your sin. They will just tell you the thing that will make you prosper. So actually, they have been fame with that gift and not actually going through the suffering that those olden prophets went through. Because the thing is that if you are a true prophet, just a minute, okay. If you are a true prophet and you say that says the Lord, please, people are not gonna like you because it's not everybody that will be willing to submit to the will of God. So definitely you're gonna have persecution. If you are just getting just praise only, then you might wanna watch out because I don't think that you are actually doing the building of God, I think that you are compromising one way or the other, because everybody are not gonna praise you if you say that says the Lord. I haven't seen any. I mean, I've seen some prophets that have come out standing against gay going public, and I've also seen people who are actually not saying anything, and even like when they put them in a public platform that they can actually warn the people and turn the people's heart to God, they actually choose not to say anything, or they just say, oh, it's for God to decide. No, it's not for God to decide, because you are the mouthpiece of God. You should stand, you know what the scriptures say. You should say exactly what God wants you to say. But because of fame, most of them will not say anything, or most of them will just throw the question back to God, that is God to decide. But I want you to know that um, Elijah did not say that. Elijah stood. He said, enough of this nonsense. You have to decide, is it Baal God or is it Jehovah God? He stood up, even though his life was at stake. He stood up and turned the people to God. And please, if you can ask your question.
Oh, I was just gonna, make
The mic.
reference to what you were saying in terms of the platform that they use. Are you talking about, just creating their own platform or whatever platform
Yeah,
that they?
I learned that a true prophet have to be in the body of God. Like, you see, like you cannot just be a prophet and say, oh, I have my own thing and you do your own. No. People have to be under you, because the gift is for the people. You need to shepherd them. You need to let them know the mind of God. And actually, every church need a prophet. Every church need a prophet, because this fivefold ministry, and we all learn that the church is built on apostles and prophet. So a pastor who knew this maybe may not have a prophet in his church, but that pastor will bring in an apostle, will invite a prophet, so that when they come, they can also expose the wickedness and the things that are hidden to the body of Christ. So a prophet, you have to have a church. You can't just do your own thing, because then what are the people that you're gonna prophesy to?
With a platform, your personal platform of wherever you are ministry, but also supposing you are being interviewed on CNN, BBC, it's a platform whereby they are calling upon you to hear the mind of God or what you believe. That platform is where you have to also be an oracle for God. But we've seen it that sometimes they compromise just because they know that, hey, I don't want to offend everybody. But you look at Isaiah, who became naked for many months just to show the people that the same way God has made me naked. He was walking around the whole country naked, because he says that's how God. But today, I want to throw the question that, Elder, what do you see with modern prophet as compared to ancient prophet?
Well, I mean, what I say with modern prophets and ancient prophets is,
Are they all prophets?
are they all prophets? Well, I mean, no. We have the genuine ones,
Okay.
and we have the fake ones.
Also, so the genuine prophet we have in modern days, how are they different even from the old one, the way they operated? Even those who call genuine.
Well,
Like Michael Jackson is going to die. So a prophet comes to talk about Michael Jackson or Jay-Z going to release a new album, or who is going to win the Super Bowl. Is it relevant to anybody turning the heart of man to God?
No, it's not.
It's serious though.
no, but it depends on the way we look at it.
Also, you believe in that?
I'm not saying I believe in that, but the fact is that if a prophet is coming to you and telling you that, oh, Jesus is going to do this or whoever is going to do this, we all believe that since he's a genuine prophet, he's probably operating from the right source. So it is God that is telling him.
No, but remember they said, but remember we said that we have to also test the spirit, because sometimes it could also come in the flesh. They can go in and out.
No, you have the gift
You
too.
are not getting.
Okay, let's get him first. Let him
The
get
lady
him.
said that he's a genuine prophet. and is prophesying or is giving the prophecy.
But they can also go in the flesh because you don't know if there was something.
I understand that, but what you are saying here is that it is coming from God. So are you not saying that God cannot say it, or God cannot give a prophecy about what is going on in the
Secular world.
No,
Okay.
God can.
I mean-
because God can, because the main thing is that, like after he gave, to me, I would say that if the person is genuine and he's giving that prophecy, then he shouldn't delete some of them. Because what I think is that what they do is that, oh, like God can actually be reaching out to Michael Jackson, that you're going to die, repent. But some of them turn away from your sin. Some of them they will say, oh, you're going to die. They may not finish the whole sentence. Trust me, some of them is able to delete some of the message. And I know that God can reach out to them, because the thing is that God came for the lost. So the thing is that if God wanna get everybody saved. But the thing is that are those prophets going to be true to say the
So
whole thing?
when a secular people come to a prophet who they know is genuine and say, hey, so this Super Bowl, what is God saying? Who is going to win? Is it part of their office and their work for us to? And Estebele says something very important. Balaam had a true gift, but he could choose to use it how he wanted to use it.
You have to use
Even though the guy was a true prophet, but he could use it for his own personal gain. And so that's what I'm saying, that modern day prophets, and you look at old time prophets, the difference is too much. The difference, especially the way turning the heart of people back to God, emphasizing on sin and righteousness. And today it's all about the
rebuke, like
Yeah.
rebuke in open rebuke. I don't even. I mean, like I'm not saying that rebuke people, but to me, like the part that pains me is that when God gives them platform publicly, that they can turn masses. Like when I say masses, the whole US is watching you. What you say can change these people's life, and then they will say, "Oh, it's not up to me to say it's God." No, but you're the mouthpiece of God. You can speak the mind of God to the people, but then they choose not to.
Okay.
Also believe that
I mean, so my question is this: when you said like Balaam, are we not saying that when he tries to use it according to his own will, is that not God talking to him? Because even in this modern day, I know of a prophet, right?
That wasn't God talking to him, because remember
Mhm.
God told him, "Do not
Do
go."
not. So, but what about?
Remember, the gift is the gift too. You can have a gift and without the spirit. You can have the gift and operate through the gift without the spirit. Meaning that a prophet can come here, his eyes will be open. He can tell your telephone number, how much money you have in your account. That doesn't mean the Holy Spirit is using him. The Holy Spirit didn't tell him to tell you that. He's just using the gift to tell you who is going to win Super Bowl and whether to find out. No, it is the gift operating, but it is then not the Holy Spirit. That's what they are prophesying to us, but we are not seeing the evidence because it wasn't based on the Holy Spirit. Why would one of the prophets, my wife and I were talking about how the pressure we have put on prophets, that even though God has not told them to say nothing, but because we want them to say something, a genuine prophet now had to go and solicit from a psychic in order to come and tell the world the 2000 and something prophecy for that year. And that has brought down this guy's ministry. He was under pressure. You remember, you know who I'm talking about. It was the pressure from the Christendom. You need to prophesy. We need to hear what God is saying. If God hasn't said anything, so be it. But we put pressure on this young man. He went to find prophecies from a psychic. Came on platform to say it, and people could realize that the same thing the psychic said is the same thing he said. And that was the beginning of the down. So are we ready to only hear from God, or because they have the gift, we want them to use the gift even when the Spirit is not leading them? That's the problem. Because it's a gift. You can use it whenever you want.
There are two things that I want to share. In the book of Samuel, when Samuel was, in the midst of, Prophet Samuel was in the midst of, anointing and getting Saul ready, but, it says, in verse 10:5. It says, "Then you will go to Gibeah of God. There is a Philistine camp there. When you come near this town, a group of prophets." Doesn't work. Sorry.
Amen.
A group of, a group, I don't even have my glasses on. I'm sorry.
Amen.
Um,
You are being prophetic, don't worry.
Lord, it's right there. Somebody wants to get it. Um, so, a group of prophets will come out. They will be coming from the place of worship, and they will be playing harps, tambourines, flutes, and lyres, and they will be prophesying. The Spirit of the Lord will enter you with power. You will prophesy with these prophets. You will be changed into a different man. After these signs happen, do whatever you find to do. God will help you. Go ahead of me to Gilgal. I will come down to you. Then I will offer whole burnt offerings and fellowship of offerings. But you must wait 7 days. Then I will come and tell you what to do." When Saul turned to leave Samuel, God changed Saul's heart. All these signs came true that day. When Saul and his servant arrived at Gibeah, Saul met a group of prophets. The Spirit of God entered him, and he prophesied with the prophets. People who had known Saul before saw him prophesying with the prophets. They asked each other, "What has happened to Kish's son? Is even Saul one of the prophets?" So that just kind of goes with what you were saying, about being around both of you were saying about being around the company of the prophets. It's kind of interesting how God used him in that way, but then when we know the rest of the story, I've got questions, but anyways, by the time I ask them. But then the other thing was, I was watching your video yesterday about marine spirits and water spirits, marine spirits, I think. Yeah, mermaid spirits. And so I was listening, and a testimony of a guy came up, and he was talking about how his church wasn't growing, and so he went to the general overseer, and then the overseer led him to basically the water, and the mermaid came out the water, and basically they did things, and then the story is that she even gave him power to prophesy and know the things of what was happening in people's lives.
That's right.
So when he was in church, he was able to see what was going on in people's lives, to prophesy and bring people up, what have you. So that's definitely from the devil. So, that's another way we know that the devil uses people as prophets or prophetically as well as God does. So I just want to say.
So that's why we said that as a child of God, you should have the word in you. And also Bible says that you shall know them by the fruit. You're not gonna judge anybody based on the gift. And when God is judging us, they're not gonna judge us about the gift. He's gonna judge you based on the fruit. So as a child of God, you should know the fruit of the Spirit. You should bear that fruit. So if you are around them, you will be able to pinpoint that, this is not from God because I don't see these fruits manifesting in him.
And when we talk about the fruit, the emphasis has been on the fruit, the character part of it. So people see, because he's angry, he's this, he's this. Also, the fruit also represents some of the things or directions they will let you do. You go to a prophet and he's telling you, meet me by the river and I'll bathe you. Or he gives you some, go and take a candle and Florida water. Some of the directions, because prophetic comes with direction. So one of the ways you catch them is the kind of direction they will let you go and do. That will let you know that, why should I wake up and go and stand at a crossroad and be naked in order to get this breakthrough. So when we talk about the fruit, because sometimes even the genuine person may be going through transformation. So their character may be sometimes questionable, but they are true. But a person, when you say by their fruit, pay attention to their directions and their doctrines. Be very careful, because now most of them now are mastering. There are two ways of dealing with demons. You can either by divine use, no, stand there, because you can either use the power of God to cast out a demon, or every demon has a taboo. How do you put it? A taboo. Do you know taboo? Something that they don't like. A taboo is, some demons don't like garlic. So if you want to frustrate, to cast that, to let that demon not come around you, carry garlic around you and do not come around you. Some demons don't like salt. So you carry salt around you and it will drive them away. Some demons will not come around you when you are going through your menses. So now, the fetish priests and the witch doctors use these ways to to drive out spirit. Some of these false prophets know about the things which some of these spirits don't like, and then they are having it. So when you come, they'll give you a direction to go and do something which they know that once you start doing it, it will drive out that very demon that is attacking you. But that doesn't mean that they were using the Spirit of God to cast out that demon. Do you understand? So you have to be very careful, because some of them, that's how of late they are operating. And when they are giving, God was also telling me that a genuine prophet can make a mistake. They can come to you, and because they are young in the prophetic giftings, they can even prophesy and make a mistake, and you live and say, what he said was not right. He said, I'm Elizabeth, but I'm not Elizabeth. But they were genuine, just that they were now growing into, and a false prophet will be very accurate in their description of you and everything. Accuracy does not mean genuine. Never be deceived, because the false ones are very accurate, and yes, their source is wrong. And you'll find a genuine one also who just started getting the prophetic, cultivating it, growing into it, and they are still making errors and making mistakes until they grow into it. Do you understand? So be very careful. The fact that somebody was, because a psychic can tell your name, your address, that doesn't mean because they are accurate, they are prophetic and God is with them. So don't allow accuracy to deceive you into thinking it's of the Lord. Find out their doctrine and their direction. What is he telling you to do after he prophesied? And how is your spirit feeling about that person?
I have a testimony. I have a testimony on that. I have a testimony. I don't know why I called it on, but it's a testimony. When you have a false prophecy and when you have God, when you got God in your life, God will give you that discernment of that false person.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my testimony, when my mother was going through some stuff and she wanted to go to a prophecy, because everybody was telling her to go to him. He can get these demons off you, because she can see, she was seeing things and she was going through some stuff. So she wanted to go to this guy. And when as I was going to this guy, he was telling me about my whole life. He was talking about my life.
Okay.
And he was talking about my mom.
Was he accurate?
He was accurate.
Okay.
He was accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But as I wasn't afraid,
Mm-hmm.
because I know God.
Mm-hmm.
And I know God loves me. So, but God was showing me things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was there, I can see like, when I was at his house, he'll say, okay, you can just put this money in the Bible and, just put it in the Bible because I'm going to bless the money, da, da, da.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm in his house, I can see like little skeleton heads and little, stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my mother wanted to kept trying to go, give him money for this, give him money for that. So as close to God, God was, like I said, God was showing me things. So when I was when he wanted to go, my mom had him to go bless her house. So when I got to the house, when he got to the house, I wanted to ride him. I'm not just going along with this, but
Careful.
I'm also watching at the same time and feeling at the same time. So I went to this house and he went to my mom's house to pray in my house. He was actually scared to go into my mother's house to pray for my mother's house. He's like, go ahead, put this, that, put that. And I was telling them, I went to my mom and I was like, look, mom. I said, you need to stop giving that man all this money and this and that. You need to start getting on your knees and you need to start praying because I said, that's the man not a God. Because I said, if he was really of God and he really know what he was doing, he wouldn't have been afraid to go inside your house to put stuff down in the house or pray your house up. He had me go do it. So I'm saying, if he had me go do it, I wasn't scared or afraid. I said, but he was scared to go in. I said, Mom, look, God is telling me to tell you, you need to start praying. Stay away from him. He's not of God. He's not of God. So because he started telling me how his spirit can leave his body, and he can go to your house. And then he was telling me that I had the same gifts that he had, and I can use my gifts. Well,
Oh, so he want to initiate you into.
Yeah, he was trying to get me to do the things that he was doing, and I was like, no. But all like they saying everything like the apostles, they telling you when people can come to you and they can tell you anything about yourself in your life, but if you got to have that discernment in your life to know that person is not for you. You gotta listen to your heart and you gotta hear God. If you don't hear God speaking to you, but you can at least feel
You can
in your
reject
heart,
it,
and
yeah.
He will guide you, and He will allow you to know that person is not of Him.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
the devil knows everything. The devil knows that Bible and the word. So they're gonna try to do anything to trick you to get you turned over to it.
That's right.
So
They are very close. It's very close. You have to be very sharp in order to discern. And when they start treating you like a psychic, for everything, I need money. I need money. It's just like a psychic in the name of Christ to deceive.
But in your mom's defense, maybe she did know something was right, but in a person's desperation, they'll just
Go with
throw
it.
all caution to the wind, just like I just whatever I need to do to just get these demons away from me, So, and if you don't know, like I know our family into the the and stuff like that. They go to church but don't know God. They don't know the discernment. You shouldn't have a skeleton head over in the corner, but my grandma told me to go to you because you did this and you did this for her. So if you don't have the word in you, you can't discern. Really. So
because at the same time that she was going through, God allowed me to see through my child, through my oldest son. He came home and he was telling me everything that was going on before my mom told me. So then once after my son came home and he told me everything that was going on, then my mom came up to me and said, Mom, my son already came and told me he was already prophesied to me everything that you was going through already. God was already letting me know.
Yeah. Amen.
I just wanted to share that I only was sharing that because of what the conversation was being said. I knew those things. But I did want to say that it was interesting what you said. This one time I think I was in such of a desperation that I was going through something. I don't even remember what it was, but I saw this flyer and it was about bed and it was like a number on there. So I called it and it was like X, Y, Z, and he was like telling me some things, but he never really said real specific. And then he wanted me to send him some money. And I was like kind of gauging what he was saying. And then I said, well, I don't really have much money. So if I were to send you whatever I could send you, because you said your flyer said send you whatever you can. Now you're saying something specific. I said, so then if I do that, then you're going to ask me for something else. This man sent me the worst text message ever and said, don't text me again, and if you do, I'll curse you. I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, false prophet. Oh, heck no. So I just, I didn't text back, but I pleaded the blood of Jesus for sure. It was like,
Amen.
But my initial question before we got into this whole thing, when she was talking about the guy that went to the mermaid and she gave him powers, was that his third eye being open to be able to see those things, or was that
Um,
just some type of
third eye is when they are activating you into the into witchcraft. But when you go into the marine kingdom, they empower you to be able to. Sometimes it's just washing. They will give you something to wash your face, and from the day you wash your face with that water, you can see. Other times also they will let you do some sacrifices, maybe sleep with this lady, virgins in your church, and from that day, or bury this pregnant person or baby. So they'll let you do something, and sometimes to rings. Be very careful of those who carry specific rings, and because the rings are used to, it's what gives the scanning. They scan you, or they have spirit guides which tells them about. There are many ways that their spirit is activated into the supernatural. So third eye is just one form, but they can have a ring on them, or sometimes they can have a certain cloth, and that's what they use, or even sometimes a specific dress that they wear will let. So different. You can't. When they we go there, they give you based on your job description. They'll give you different things as to what to use. That when you have this on this day, this prophecy will come. But be careful of those rings also, because they use it big time. I'm not saying everybody who puts on the rings.
What does that mean?
Ring.
Big rings that
Big rings.
Okay.
With ring. RING. Ring.
Oh, so people who are wearing those rings.
Not everybody, but I'm saying be very careful.
Be careful, like,
Be very careful. Be very careful, because that marble itself carries the ability to open you up into the supernatural. So be very careful.
I heard that
Careful getting rings from pawn shops.
Oh, be very careful. Be very careful.
this guy that I was sharing with you about was telling me that there are people who are pastors in churches in Ghana that wear the rings, and you'll see people just fall out in the audience. I was like, I didn't really believe him because I was like, but that's for real.
That's right.